everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Wednesdays. Today, I'm joined by musician Sue Lee, all the way from Korea, and we're super excited to chat with her today about all the super fun music she's been making, or at least releasing during quarantine. I know that's how I first discovered you, and it's been a treat, really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great. It's awesome to hear. Thank you.
My coworker is like really big into Reddit, and he found you on there. And so he was just like, "You guys, you need to know about Sue Lee," and we've all been obsessed.
That's awesome. Tell your friend I said thank you. Please.
So, I guess first question, how long have you been doing music in general? When did you get started?
When it comes to writing music and producing music, it's been a year. Just been a year.
Oh wow! Yeah. How did you start? Like, what made you decide to get into music?
It was actually kind of like half by force, really. It's funny because I was at a point where I was actually really serious about getting a quote unquote real job, like a standard 9-to-5, and I tried some internships, and I just realized it's just not my thing personally. So it was either I had to like kind of suck it up and do it, or go on a little venture and use up my savings for something that I've always wanted to do, which was music. So I was just kind of inevitably put in a position where I knew what I didn't want, so I might as well just try something that I do know that I'm going to enjoy. So yeah, I started doing music a year ago.
Awesome. What was it like starting out? Like, did you have an idea of the general vibe that you wanted to go for?
No, it was just like really, I just took the plunge, and at first, I really didn't know what I was doing. To be honest, I still don't think I know 100% what I'm doing, but like initially it was really just like I was in the blind. I was just trying out stuff and experimenting, and I was like, I had a phase where I was like, I kind of want to like be this faceless artist, so I'm gonna go into like a psychedelic like surrealistic kind of art kind of aesthetic. I'm gonna go with that. So I just like made loads of crazy stuff without my face in it, or necessarily like me in a video. So it was just like trying multiple different things and aesthetics and musical styles, until I got to a point where I felt like I kind of knew myself as sort of a brand and as sort of like as an artist. So I think I'm still kind of finding my face as an artist, but I think it's all just a process. So it was just really a plunge at first.
For sure. Yeah, 'cause I was listening to some of the stuff you have on Spotify, the songs that like I hadn't heard back in like 2019, and it's a little bit darker. Like you can tell it's your same like voice and like it's very similar genre, but it's like a little more edgy. And the stuff that you're putting out now is a little bit more like quirky and kitschy, and like it's like your relatable friend dancing in a bedroom, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like
cool too, but they're both very different vibes.
That definitely, like I think that really is the proof of me trying to experiment, and I'm not afraid to like let it sit there. I kind of want people to know the kind of journey that I've gone through, and it's funny how, because the topics that I write about is kind of consistent, because I think the things that I feel about is quite consistent, at least for now, but it's just the stylistic choices that I make to express that is kind of more and more turning into me, rather than something that I'm I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna do this kind of thing.
Yeah, like I feel like you're doing a lot of like, you have to deal with a lot of like emotional interpersonal themes, like finding yourself and like how you feel today. But now you have like the titles that you give them are just great too, like I'm a little sad tonight, or like I'll just dance,
yeah,
like, be a little ugly today. And it's like, yeah, I do.
I do. I kind of keep it, I kind of keep it as honest as possible, which is weird because I'm known to be a big overthinker, but it seems that when it comes to writing songs, it's just like I just do it. I just do it and I don't really think twice. And that is something like that's a part of myself that amazes me, that I don't seem to be able to I don't seem to need to overthink when I'm writing music, which I think is why I consider music as like one of my biggest therapies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your song "I'll Just Dance," I feel like it's been a very I want to call it like a quarantine anthem. And
Thank you.
it's like if you just need to like you don't know what you're feeling because like a lot of the days you don't really know what you're feeling these days, and like "I'll Just Dance" is just like, you know what, I guess I'll just dance because what else can I do right now?
I give up. I'm just gonna let it go. Yeah.
How has it been? Because I feel like that's like the most known song of yours, and like it's getting a lot of attention on your YouTube. Put out a bunch of different like little music videos on your YouTube page. How's it been getting like attention from that song?
It's weird because it's like I still experience this weird dissonance between like this online presence and like real life, because like online I think, you know, I have a lot of fun engaging with my new fans and a bigger audience than ever, and I come out of that and I'm just like walking around and, you know, it feels like, you know, I'm waking up from the same shitty bed and I'm eating the same shitty food and I'm, you know, drinking like 6 cups of like instant coffee a day, and it's like nothing has changed in my life, but at the same time everything has changed. So I'm still experiencing that weird like distance between online and offline, and I think quarantine and the pandemic does play a part in that, because I can't travel, I can't meet new people as I think I would be able to if I were to travel and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely been weird, but I've been having a lot of fun just talking with fans, and you know, it feels great to know that my work gets more ears and eyeballs on it, so it feels great. I'm happy.
And I'm sure it would probably feel a little bit differently too if we weren't all just sitting home staring at our computers. For, you know, because you probably would be, I don't know, have you gotten a chance to play shows before lockdown started? I don't know how soon before then you were writing and putting out stuff.
No, pretty much none. Like I've played odd open mic nights and like, you know, the usual talent shows, school talent shows, and all these like little bits here and there, but not like official gigs or shows, anything like that. I've never played, which I think I would love to try out at least, and you know, get the vibe of it. And I get a feeling that I'm going to enjoy it a lot. I would suck really badly at first. I know that for a fact, but it's an area that I'm really excited to get into once the pandemic's over.
Yeah. Because yeah, I feel like that was a whole other side of the experience, is being able to be on stage in front of people and like have them experiencing your music all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What makes you say that you feel like you would suck at it?
I don't know. I think it's I have like a big like jinx about I get a big jinx, like I think there's a big jinx about beginner's luck. I always jinx everything. Like I just expect the worst basically for something that I try the first time, and it kind of sets up like a basic insurance, if you will, for my mentality. So like if I were to suck, then at least I would have been mentally prepared for that in advance. So it's that kind of thing where you know, I'm definitely gonna suck for my first shows, or at least the first couple of shows. It might not actually suck, but I think that's just kind of the mindset that I get into prior to trying something new. It also kind of like relieves some of the pressure that comes with like trying new things and venturing into new things and just experimenting and taking risks. So that, I think personally for me, is a healthy mindset to have, because it almost like lowers the bar for trying new things, which I think is really best way to grow.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of like lower the not the standards, but like you don't have expectations. That's what I was trying.
Yeah, I don't try to put too much pressure on myself when doing this thing. Like, I know I don't have to be perfect when I go into this new area that I've never tried before. So it kind of makes it easier for me to, you know, get my mind together and just go for it.
Yeah. What has been some of your like favorite songs to write and just like get in the mood?
The most fun song to write was definitely I'll Just Dance. It was like, it's funny because it's not a song that was initially meant to be released and like be like an official release of mine. It was something that I was genuinely feeling really confused with the state that I was at the time. So I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna like abandon all the things, all the other projects that I had been working on, and I'm just gonna make this new thing within a day from scratch, and I'm just gonna let it go, kind of thing. So I had a lot of fun writing it, and it was just like a one-day project, really. Which kind of ended up taking off, ironically. But that was the most kind of fun song to write and make because it was just like a non-pressure one-day project kind of thing.
But just doing it because you want to, not because you're like, I need to write a song. Like
Yeah. It was just like, oh, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna do this, and I'm having a lot of fun. So I don't know. That's all that matters, I guess.
And when did you start putting out videos on YouTube? Was it around the same time as you?
Yeah.
I
think I did put up like some odd random covers, like 30-second covers or whatever prior to that. So the channel was open technically, like 2 years, 3 years before I really started to kind of put out content, but really it's only been a year since I started to like really get into the mindset of just consistently putting out stuff for people to watch.
How did you come to decide like, oh, I feel like putting out these like little fun music videos as well as putting out the song? Because they're very simple. You're just you hanging out in your room but like dancing, and you have like the lyrics, which is just that's what everybody needs. And that's how you get to know the song. It seems like you get to know you too, kind of through those little dances.
Yeah, I do try to like put my personality into my songs and the video, so I'm glad that it seems to come across to people. But in terms of like how I started to put out like official music videos, it was just really like a natural decision because, you know, as musicians put out music, they naturally also release music videos alongside the music. So it just kind of felt natural for me to put out at least some sort of a video content related to the songs that I'm releasing. It's just that I don't have a massive budget. I have none, basically. So I'm just gonna like, you know, shoot something with my phone and brainstorm really roughly, and end up making a video that has nothing to do with the brainstorm. But just like, you know, it was just not trying too hard, and you know, making use of the things that I already have at hand without having to like try too hard to like, oh, I'll source for like some fancy music video director or equipment or whatever. Just, you know, just keeping it natural, and it felt right, and easy, and just like, you know, me without trying too hard. Yeah,
I think you proved that you didn't need to, because that's like you said, it's you, and I don't think the other stuff would have translated as you if you tried a little bit differently.
Yeah.
What was what was your favorite music video to like shoot or like dance to? Was it the same as I'll Just Dance, or was it another experience?
I'll Just Dance was definitely the most fun thing to shoot, because it was actually the first like official music video that I actively danced around in my room. That was like the initial, okay, here we go, kind of like the first video where I danced, actually. But it was a bit of a pain to like edit post shooting because there's a lot of editing. There's a lot of like graphics flying around everywhere in the video. So in terms of like the whole process, I had a lot of fun shooting the video for Tired, which came out earlier than I'll Just Dance. But that one was just like a one take. Like I was just literally like shot one take and then okay, I'll move on. And then it was just like a really quick process, but just fun and easy. Yeah.
That's awesome. What have been some of like your musical influences? Like, do you like draw off of other things when you're creating?
Not too consciously. I think it probably does, like all the music that I listen to, all the artists that I look up to, I think it probably does feed into in some sort of like unconscious, subconscious way when I'm producing my music, but not necessarily like in a conscious like decision making way. I grew up listening to loads of stuff, like as I'm sure a lot of people do anyways. It's just, you just listen to whatever that comes on the radio, or whatever there's what's on the charts, or whatever your friends are listening to. So it was just all over the place. I listened to a lot of K-pop naturally because I grew up in Korea, and just like Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, like Coldplay. I don't know, just like, yeah, just mainstream, indie, everything in between. But I do look up to Joji a lot. I'm just quite well-known Joji fan. Just like everybody knows that I'm a Joji fan because I just ramble about his music all the time. But the reason why I'm such a big fan of it is because his songs are really what catapulted me into making the decision to become a musician. So like his music has a big special place in my heart because it made me make a decision that pretty much changed my life. So yeah, but just I listen to all sorts of stuff, I think. Yeah.
What have been like recent obsessions of yours?
In music or musically, or just musically, I have been listening to a lot of like really indie stuff, like really indie. Like I'm having so much fun discovering new artists that have like similar audience kind of size as I do. So it's kind of it almost kind of I kind of create this bond with that artist because it feels like I can resonate with their audience size and their musical styles, and we're kind of at the same stage as an artist, if you will. So I've been listening to this artist called Augustine, and I just one of his songs called Guts is literally, I've been listening to that song, just that one song, on repeat the last 3 days. That's the only song that I've been listening to.
That's all I ever do whenever I become obsessed with like an album or a song. It's just on repeat.
That's it.
I can't stop. It's just like an endless soundtrack to my day.
Yeah, it's so sad though when that initial spark and love you have for that one song like kind of goes away after you listen to it a while. I'm like, I wish I could just go back and just like fall back in love with that song over again.
In a few months when you're like, oh, I forgot how much I love that album.
Yeah.
Spam it again.
I hate it when I skip the song I used to play on repeat. I hate it when that happens. But yeah, Augustine Guts, that's the song that I've been just playing nonstop nowadays.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't heard of Augustine. I'll have to check them out now.
Yeah, it's awesome. His songs, his voice is awesome. Like, and it's just like really high falsetto, and it's like, wow. It just like it translates as like so beautifully and magically, and like in the song itself. So yeah. I highly recommend.
The songs that you were putting out recently in the past year or so, how long ago did you write those before you put them?
Not long after I finished them. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's instant because I do like to plan out the music video, and I do like to take time to really think through the story of the song and how to really convey the story in different creative ways. So there is a bit of planning that goes into the whole release prior to getting it out there. But I wouldn't say it's like a year or like even months. I would say it's like maybe 2 months, 1 month in maximum.
Yeah. So were any of those written during quarantine?
Most of them were written during quarantine. I just kind of I had never written songs prior to like a year ago. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a year ago was really kind of pretty much when the pandemic started.
Wow. I literally can't like figure out time anymore, and the fact that it's almost
yeah, I mean, tell me about it. I think it's about time that we need to like the world. I'm getting tired. I really want the world to open up again.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What are you like most excited about like to do? What's the first thing you're gonna do when like you have no?
I definitely want to go to a festival. I've never been to a festival before, so I already knew that I was missing out big time. Yeah, this whole pandemic has made me realize how much I miss human contact and just like being around people, as I'm sure is made other people feel the same way. So yeah, it's just kind of like this whole pandemic situation has put me in a place where I getting fantasizing about festivals and shows and live shows and gigs. I miss that part of the experience.
Yeah.
What
festival, do you have like a specific festival that you're really interested in going?
Not really, not that I know of. Like, I don't know too much about like the big festivals or the small festivals. I just want to like experience a festival.
Yeah.
There's a great video on YouTube, and this came out like 9 years ago, 10 years ago, but it's a video of a guy at a festival who's just like dancing while nobody else around him is dancing, and he's just like doing his own thing. And the title of the video is "Guy Starts a Dance Rave," I think. And it starts with that one dude just dancing, and then like after 10 minutes it becomes like a horde of people just dancing away. It's amazing how like one people join and another group joins, and like it's just like it becomes a rave. And that's like, oh, that's beautiful. I'd love to experience something like that at a festival.
Yeah, just being like in a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Where when you look around, you're like, I can't see the end of this crowd, and then but the crowd is like there to like see this band, or like all these bands that are there that day, and you're excited together. And
I love being a nobody in a big group of people. I love just like watching people have fun and be in the middle of it, you know. And I miss that, and I never thought I would miss it as a big introvert myself, but I do. It's amazing what the pandemic can make people
take for granted.
Yeah, you do take these things for granted, you realize.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been to a few. I cannot wait to go back, and it's just there's just a feeling that you get when you know that you're in a crowd of people that are as excited about music as you are. And it's cool.
Yeah, I want to go as well.
Yeah, I think that'll be the first thing I do too when we can.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think Korea does, like, Korea has a lot of those like kind of like at a big field kind of festival, you know. When you think of festival, you think of like big fields and like tents or whatever. We don't have that much of that in Korea, so I might have to travel. That means I might have to travel, which is exciting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling too. Yeah.
So do you have anything coming up, like any other releases that are coming out soon?
Yeah, it's coming. Actually, I've got a new song coming out on the 29th of January. So it's coming out, and I'm really excited because actually it's a song about kind of the online. So yeah, I've got a lot of things to talk about because, you know, it contributes to mental health, but it contributes to just a lot of our mentality, especially during the pandemic. So I had a lot of fun writing songs about the online world and how it affects me and my image of my self-image. And I'm really excited to tell that story to people.
Well, yeah, because we're all living in screens.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Yeah, that's all we really can do, and
Mm.
so it definitely affects you.
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear what you wrote about for it.
I'm excited to show as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you.
Cool.
Thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm so excited that we got to chat with Sue. And follow her on YouTube. We'll have that link below in the description, and watch out for her next song coming out soon.
Watch out.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one. Till next time.